with yesterday, and it is a very quick run through of what's happening with my Telegram channel, because I need to protect the innocent. I call this little intermission, "Has Telegram lost the plot?" So over here on the left side here is a post that I posted at 21:18 last night, and it's called an Athens update. I'd like to thank the people who attended tonight. Some flown in from there, and then you'll see this says here, propped up by electrolytes and Imodium, I spoke for 4.5 hours, which in itself was an amazing achievement, if I don't mind me saying so. And I know the real scammer, and that's the person we'll be talking about. He will post this and claim to his post. Go to Tom Hugard if you want the real deal. The scammer, a little while later, then posts the same post, but edits out this particular bit for the real deal, because he's too lazy to actually delete the whole thing. Also posts the flag of Israel, which I haven't got, and he has got these juvenile responses, and you'll see all of these 30 responses are probably from my followers going, "You are ridiculous." So what is it that's going on? Well, what's going on here is that the real genuine Telegram contact for me is at Tom Hugard. That's what it's been like from day one. But scammers like this one, they are inventing addresses like this one, the real TraderTom. Now it looks like me, it looks very genuine, but this is in fact a scammer's address. And what this scammer will do is he will get into a conversation with you, and this conversation, he will encourage you to invest money. He will ask you and say, "Hey, I can double your money, or I can tenfold your money in 24 hours. The one that he did yesterday was, "If you give me 1,000 euros, I'm going to give you 15,000 euros in 24 hours, which is why people fall for that, I don't know. But people do fall for it. But what I think that is the real culprit here is that this post here, and many like it, this post here, and many like it, this one here, I have tried to get Telegram to take it down, but it is literally as if Telegram has completely lost the plot. And so while some of us, or some of you will have sympathy that Pablos was arrested in France for non-compliance with European authorities, those of us who use Telegram, we're wondering, yeah, what took you so long? Because Telegram is notoriously slow or completely incapable of actually listening to its users and saying, there are people who are using my name to scam people, innocent people, out of money in my name. So if you have been cheated, please contact me on @TomHugard. And the irony here is, guess who contacted me this morning? Yeah, the scammer contacted me this morning, pretending to be a hacker that claimed that he could remove the posts. And so I entered into a conversation with him, and he removed the post. It was the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. And now he asked me to pay him 2,000 euros to take the channel down. But isn't that what Telegram is supposed to do in the first place? Please don't be cheated, okay? Please don't be cheated. This is a scammer. This is the only real deal at Tom Hugard. There you go. And this is the kind of shit that he posts. Bitcoin wallet, because that's what they do. They do it anonymously. Okay, enough for that. Market's open, and I'll just swap over to charts. So here we are. The markets are opening, or sorry, have just opened. Let me just Today will be a somewhat shorter session for me because I need to catch a flight. I'm flying up to Frankfurt, where I am doing 3 events over the next 3 days. Speaking at the World of Trading, and I'm doing my own event on Thursday, tomorrow. I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I did, but I am afraid that today is going to be a shorter version. I won't have time to trade the school run, but I am hoping to be able to execute a trade in the FTSE if the opportunity arises. It looks like it's going to be a first bar positive. We'll see. And over here, we got the DAX. Now, let me just address something here. I do apologize that I have to take these means every morning to expose the hacker. But if Telegram won't take action, the only tool that I have at my disposal is through YouTube. And that's what I will do. You may say, why do I care? Well, I do care because I feel very strongly about my name being used like this. I don't think that's fair. Okay, now let's just look at the Espresso. So the Espresso high was 801.6, and it actually went 8,112. So it actually went 13 points above. What I think, and that would technically mean that I would have been long here, and I would print stopped out already. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if the FTSE goes down to 8092, I would want to place a short position. So you can see that the FTSE has just opened up around where it closed yesterday, whilst the DAX, I believe, is quite big gap up, closed at 19,060. It was a good event yesterday. Also, just to expose the irony of mankind. So I posted in yesterday's post that there was a group of 10 or so young men from Israel. And there were also a couple from Romania, a couple from Bulgaria, someone had flown in from Holland, someone had flown in from the UK. But there was a man this morning that took issue with me posting that there had been a group of traders from Israel, stating that Israel kills children, and I was legitimizing their existence. I don't want to, in any shape or form, get involved in politics. So I had a sober conversation with the gentleman there. But, he started off with, fuck this, fuck that, la-di-da-di-da. Here we go. We may have a first bar negative in the FTSE at 8097. So please stand by for that. And I said to him, of course, we have freedom of speech and you can think and say whatever you want to. I do actually believe in that. But as I pointed out, that sadly, Now, you have to wonder what real journalism is. And I think there are very few nations who has a blemish-free track record, including my own. Doesn't look like we're going to get an opportunity to buy, but we can take a chance of a first bar negative sell short above. But if we were to do that, I just want to look at the 30-minute chart and say, okay, it would make more sense to do that above this range here. So the first bar negative would trigger a long about 14. You see the high is 12.7, and let me get rid of the closing price now. So maybe a double top is on the cards. Because I have limited time today, I want to see how aggressive school run performed yesterday. So here's aggressive school run. Had a high and a low of 75 and 52. The next bar went 81 and then reversed. And at 52 and below it triggered and then went 060. Getting close to an aggressive school run. Sorry, a first bar negative sell. So please stand by. It did actually just go 13. Maybe we'll get a better opportunity. So the high is 12.7 and we just went 13.3. So maybe if we are to use aggressive school run, maybe the offset needs to be a smidgen higher than we are used to. Let's just look at the day before. So far, if you were able to get a short in at 8.113, I didn't. I did not get a short in at 8.113. So the previous day, 249, and then it goes 283. Let's see. I haven't dropped divergence, ladies and gentlemen. I just, for some reason, I did an upgrade on my laptop and divergent didn't copy over onto OBS, so I don't know why. So far, the first bar negative is actually working, but I'm not short because look, I blinked. I didn't get. Maybe it was because I was explaining it to you, or maybe I'm just getting slow on my old age. But I did not get a fill in at 8112 point. But if you did, well, if I were you, I would move the stop loss to break even. Frustrating as it is. So as I said, today will be a short session of just 30 minutes. Your research might say one thing, but you're only as good as the trades you're able to execute. And I say that to myself, not to you. Go figure. Couldn't it have just at least taken out 1 point above the old high? It's like it went 0.6 of a point. Maybe a question on your mind is, considering how the FTSE is now performing, would you actually have the desire to take a long position now? You know, if it come down here. So that's the school run bar that's current aggressive school run bar that's currently being formed. You can keep an eye on the price in the FTSE up here. So at yesterday's, we have 3 minutes until that bar completes. So yesterday, I was showing examples of my research. So what you'll see here is a 5-minute chart of the FTSE. And the third bar has just completed. I want to show you some research. I've done a lot of research around the third bar in the FTSE. And I said to the members of the audience yesterday, imagine that your ambition here is to either go long above the blue line, i.e. go long above the third bar, or go short. So I want to show you, I can't show you more because I've got 1,050 examples, which is about approximately 4 years worth of data. But I just wanted to show you how the break of the third bar can sometimes lead to an enormous run. But most of the time, it is more a question of back and forth, back and forth. I'll just give you a handful of examples. So you've seen here some really good examples of really trending moves on the third bar. But you'll certainly also see the example of the opposite. And so I would say that my research into the third bar in the FTSE, the third 5-minute bar, was one of those that was far less fruitful than other work that I've done. You can see that there's examples of both. Although it seems right now I've found the ones that I actually know. So there's one there. So there's the third bar, and see how it just goes above it. So there would have been making sense to sell short above the high of the third bar. 1, 2, 3. Here it would have made sense to be a buyer just below the low of the third bar. Whilst here, it would have been a good idea to actually sell short on the break, although it did come close up there. So that's an example of how sometimes research can be enormously fruitless, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here we are. So stand by for a short position in the FTSE. Hopefully I can get a fill up here. I swapped over to a 30-minute chart because I just want you to see the bigger picture. I'm just hoping that a short opportunity presents itself up here. Just keeping an eye on. So the DAX school run, aggressive school run bar is just completing here, and just keeping an eye on the DAX. I got about an 18-point stop loss. Just going to be patient here. I'm going to short the FTSE here at 13.3. So there's my entry. I got a stop loss at 31. So there we go. So this is essentially a first bar negative, but it's on a rare occurrence where it's one of those where I actually have had to sell short above the high. Normally I will buy below the low. And I also think that I want to move the stop loss down really, really quick. I'm moving my stop loss about 23. So let's go over to the DAX and see how that's doing. So the DAX aggressive school run has set up on what is the longest 5-minute bar of the morning. The high is 19,203 and the low is 161. So that's a rather large 5-minute. So I think I'll leave the DAX alone. And I'll keep an eye on the FTSE. Put that into compact mode so it doesn't take up so much space. So for me, there will just be one trade this morning. So we'll see how this goes. Always concerns me a little bit when the DAX is retreating, and the FTSE does nothing. Let's see. Maybe there will be an opportunity in the DAX. Could be interesting. The FTSE is not really doing much. I'm going to try this new function here where I'm taking half profit. Just want to see how that works. I got about £500 in profit. Just going to try that because I know I'm going to close it shortly anyway. So, okay. Seemed to work. So I've closed half because I need to go shortly. So maybe I should just close this one. Can you close half of half? Hang on, what have I got? Yeah, it actually just keeps halving. Huh, interesting. I'm closing the rest here. Let me just see my transaction history, what I made. I made 195 on the first, broke even on the second, and minus 127. So I'm out of this. Maybe that was a good call. Yeah, it seems. I'm going to write here in Telegram, closed more or less for break even. I made 50 quid. It's hardly something I want to shout about. Okay, so let me just quickly go over to the DAX. Yeah, I'm happy to leave it at this. As you can hear in my voice, I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday and certainly Monday, where I was lying on the bathroom floor, puking sideways. Sorry for the graphic details, but hey, never let the truth get in the way of sensitive ears. Let's just go through the rest of the week. 1 second, I just need to look something up. So for the rest of this week, we have today's Wednesday, and I will not be trading for the rest of the day because I'll be traveling up to Frankfurt, here from Athens, and Greece and Athens. Thank you for your hospitality and for your medication. That was good. Your not so washed salad. We'll discuss that another time. Tomorrow, I'll be trading in the morning again, and in the afternoon I'm doing a talk in Frankfurt. Friday, I will be at the World of Trading all day. You're more than welcome to come and see me. If you are in the area, it would be great to meet you. But there will be no live trading for me. There will be live trading from me, but it will be on stage in Frankfurt. And then next week I believe that we have Thanksgiving to contend with, and certainly towards the latter part of that is always going to be a little hit and miss. And after that, well, then we're getting into the month of December. I know that I will take some time off around Christmas, as I imagine you will as well. If you don't mind, I'd like to spend 30 seconds to bend your ear about next year. Normally, I like to travel because I think it's fun to go around the world and giving these talks. But I have decided that next year my travel will be extremely limited because I have some deep research that I would like to engage with, and going on these trips is somewhat distracting from that mission. So that will probably mean that next year there will be very few interruptions. I wish you a wonderful trading day ahead. I kind of wish that I was trading this setup here. The school run has triggered or is about to trigger here. It's a fairly decent size stop loss, about 40 points. But I'm going to have to leave it because if I engage with this, I might miss my flight, and that's not what I want to do today. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I wish you all the very best, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.